I'd like to begin with introducing our speaker of the day, John Becker. He's the founder and CEO of PlatCore and has been on various technology operations and a product development roles for 25 plus years and spent nearly a decade in ServiceNow ecosystem, working at a wide variety of customer sites. John, I'm turning it over to you. The floor is all yours.
We really appreciate your time and thank you for joining us today. Before we jump into the presentation, I just want to give a little bit of context about PlatCore and a little bit more about that. And a little bit about the story too. So many years ago, while working at an early ServiceNow customer, I was charged with maintaining annual compliance training. And it was just more than just incredibly painful. The continuing risk was a massive liability. So as an early champion for ServiceNow, I knew that this was a problem that the ServiceNow platform could solve both efficiently and elegantly. And it's been over 6 years since we debuted our LMS at CreatorCon 2017. And the PlatCore LMS continues to thrive in the ISV tech startup world that saves customers just millions of dollars annually. So we're based in Denver, Colorado, and we've got employees throughout the US. We're an elite ServiceNow technology partner, and we only build applications for the Now platform, and specifically in learning. We're world-class developers, and we continually create new releases. And 3.4, for example, is our 20th release of PlatCore, and we're fiercely committed to our customers as well. So we continue to listen to their feedback, which informs our roadmap and continuing relationships with them. We're excited to talk today about the unique value and frankly, just massive efficiency we can gain and that we provide specifically to government agencies. So now just a little bit more like why the PlatCore LMS? Well, ServiceNow is considered the world's top workflow engine and really helps define processes of your agencies right inside that platform. It's also the hub of hubs. So it can consolidate and bring lots of data from lots of different sources together. But by consolidating learning to the Now platform, you can seamlessly deliver training to just a wide variety of customer needs, whether that's employees or vendors or even citizens. And then you can connect that learning to your ServiceNow business data and workflows. And this really enables you to deliver the right training to the right people precisely when it counts. Now, your data is both going to be highly accessible and secure. So we have training in the most regulated government agencies in the world in their FedRAMP environments or even on-premises necessary. And your LMS is more efficient. And we see many of our customers seeing just amazing returns in that first year. So what's this look like? Well, PlatCore is a native learning management system, and we sit at the top right. So we sit on your existing platform like any other ServiceNow module, and this works just like an app on your phone that you download. So similarly, PlatCore is downloaded into your own ServiceNow instance from the store and instantly has access to all the power of the platform. And being a fully featured learning management system, PlatCore leverages this native access to any data on the ServiceNow platform. And then what's cool about that is you get to act on any of that data across the enterprise. So in short, our native LMS allows you to streamline learning into your existing business processes. And this allows you to leverage your existing systems as well for that incredible time to value. So with that context, here's our agenda for today's event. So first, we're going to talk about what most learning management systems are built for and why we built one on ServiceNow natively. Next, we're going to cover how this platform provides a unique learning solution for the public sector. And after that, we want to show you a brief product demo and talk about some of the exciting new features in our current release. And then lastly, we'll share some resources. And of course, we're going to leave some time for questions, which we always enjoy. So let's go ahead and jump in. Learning management systems help organizations manage training events. At the core, that's what they do, whether that's self-paced learning or blended learning as well. They can automate a lot of manual work. They can save time, and they can enable you to organize their content, data, and learners together. And they, of course, should be able to track and report on training activity and results. So essentially, they provide ways to efficiently deliver training courses. But because these systems are often standalone, they're also still relatively manual. And they also continually are out of step with the rest of the agency. And often, with four or more learning vendors at play at any one time in your agencies, learning systems become downright difficult and confusing to figure out, even where your single source of truth is for your learning content. So how often do learning management systems elicit that collective groan as something we're all forced to do in the content we have to do? We've all experienced that. But because the PlatCore LMS is built natively on the Now platform, we're able to improve many of those experiences for learners. And also by removing the silos around your LMS, we bring both huge value to both agencies as well as the learners. So we've found the benefits to be even greater than that. So let's talk about some of what we're seeing and what some of the biggest benefits are that our government customers have seen. So first, we got to talk about system consolidation. You can leverage your existing ServiceNow infrastructure and investment. This means you can leverage existing expertise that's already in your organizations built around that platform. And it's also an approved system. So it's something you already have worked through your security teams with, and it's brought into your organizations, and something you already know. You also have the ability to centralize that location for learning. So you can bring employee, customer, and learning data from other systems into ServiceNow for that learning hub of hubs. One example, like one of our public sector customers, syncs 3 disparate course catalogs, and they surface nearly 15,000 courses into that one central catalog location, which is really exciting. They're then able to build learning processes into their existing business processes. So this helps them do things like manage compliance effectively. It helps them manage their procurement cycles and procurement processes for learning. They can also manage approvals for learning content for things that might cost money and be able to have visibility on that. They also have the ability to use ServiceNow for onboarding and being able to automatically distribute training to the right people at the right times when they come into your organization. Next, of course, we have to talk about security. So it's a native application. PlatCore inherits ServiceNow authorizations, including FedRAMP on-premise, as well as DoD Impact Level 4 authorizations, and we can operate in those data centers underneath ServiceNow. You can also control access with security roles. And ServiceNow obviously has world-class security, and we leverage that right inside their platform. And you can use then course completions as well to gate access to similar systems. Sensitive systems. So this can mean you're able to have a course training completion before something is granted access to certain areas. You can also serve multiple audiences. This is, of course, whether it's your employees within your agency, vendors or contractors outside of your agency but still close to it, or you can even use this to serve the citizen communities that we all serve. Now let's talk a little bit about compliance, such as this is automation of ongoing and regulatory training processes. So we can use things like recurring dynamic assignments to automatically assign training when it's necessary. You have the ability to bring in workflow capabilities and triggers inside the compliance workflows of your agencies. And then, of course, you have notifications and even escalations. I mean, these things together, what this does is bring a sense of accountability to your organization and visibility of your compliance programs. And then you can, of course, take action on all of that. And with compliance and that accountability, next comes reporting. So we're going to give you full access to your learner data, and oftentimes other LMSs are going to require expensive custom contracts to be able to do this, but we give this to you out of the box. And our 40 or so out of the box reports make data more accessible and more actionable right inside your own environment, your own agencies. And you can, of course, then build unlimited reports as well to meet your ongoing business needs. So this means like not only you can take our out-of-the-box reports and customize and configure those, but you can build brand new reports and really get exactly the visibility that you need through our reporting tools. And you also have fewer systems involved. And we talked about system consolidation earlier, but these fewer systems improve data integrity for your reporting. So you have more trust and more faith in the data that you're actually getting out of your training systems. And then real-time and clickable dashboards provide visibility across the agency. We're going to show you some of those here in a little bit through our demo. But by doing these things, you get to reduce the overhead of compliance reporting to just a few clicks. And we're going to show you exactly how to do that. It's really amazing to be able to have that visibility, which is unique to us on the ServiceNow system. And we want to talk also about being flexible. Now, this is something that's also very unique to PlatCore coupled with ServiceNow. The ability to have enterprise learning solutions that you configure to your unique requirements is actually something that's really quite special. But these upgrade, safe customizations get included a number of things. Certainly, you can talk about colors and branding and language preferences, things like that. You can customize and configure your portal pages to allow you to modify page content, including layout and branding, different languages, things like that. But you're also able to pull LMS widgets, which we provide, and the real-time data as well onto any ServiceNow portal page. So a couple examples on that. We have one commercial client which has taken our out-of-the-box widgets, and they've safely rebuilt their own portal pages and menus and more to match their exact branding and specifications. Another leading US-based research institute, they created a portal page for trading check-ins, and that included their unique parameters such as employer ID, departments, and more. So with that flexibility, then you get to work on your experience, and this is really exciting. So you get to leverage user data to provide this hyper-personalized learning platform at any scale. So you can have, for example, departments or role-based or location-specific onboarding experiences for your employees based on that information. You have the ability to do role-based portal pages for admins. So you can have managers who might have access to their team members and what's going on in their systems. You can have instructors who can start taking attendance right through their own learning portal. And they have also content creators, which you can distribute throughout your organization to have other team members and managers and subject matter expertise be able to create content right in their portal that they're already familiar with. And of course, it's easier to create and deliver content. So anyone, as I mentioned, can be authorized to create a course, and then they can use a lot of material that may be already out there, such as knowledge-based articles or videos and things like that. One thing to be clear on there, you can also govern it. So you have the ability to have an approval flow to approve courses as they are delivered inside your own environment. And then lastly, you have the ability to safely serve those multiple audiences. We talked a little bit about that. So you can securely issue training only for vendors, employees, or citizens, but all in the same system. That is really unique. With our implementation, we've also taken the typical LMS onboarding process for what's usually going to be around 6 months down to about 6 weeks. So you get a really incredible time to value on that. And we can download that application, our application, directly from the ServiceNow application store. And this goes directly into your ServiceNow instance. And what is important to know about that is all of the data, all of the records and the secure content you might have stays within your own ServiceNow instance. It's not going outside to another instance or anything like that. It's all within your own environment, which helps keep things much more secure in your own system. And of course, our team of ServiceNow learning experts is also incredibly devoted to supporting customers, which is really exciting to be able to bring the time to value much quicker for your environments. And then procurement. So our Caresoft partnership, and they've introduced themselves, but they've really helped facilitate a streamlined procurement process with a variety of contract vehicles to work through. And they certainly have expertise in the ServiceNow ISV ecosystem and that environment, and it helps just meet your agency's contracting needs. So they do this day in and day out. They know how to work with us. They know how to work with the agencies that they support. And obviously, we're proud to be partners with them, and they take care of us and take care of you, the end user and end agency there very effectively. So we thank them for that. And so let's get to the meat of kind of why a lot of us are here today, and we're really excited about that. We're certainly excited to announce the release of our current version of PlatCore. This is 3.4, which we've actually had in market for a couple of months already, but we just wanted to share a few of the powerful features that we've added. We're going to look at the entire system briefly. It's large and it's an enterprise solution, so we won't be able to get to nearly all of it. But we wanted to show you some of the key features about like being able to create content right inside your learning portal, a new immersive player, and we'll talk a little bit about the branding editor. But we'll jump right in, and let me just switch over to my other portal, and we'll get going right inside the demo. All right, here we go. What we're seeing right here is the PlatCore LMS Learner Portal. And as I mentioned, this is 100% inside of your own environment. So you can configure and change things as you like. For instance, this is branded PlatCore, but you can put your own agency's logos on there, change the color scheme, move widgets around, and really have a lot of flexibility here to make this particular portal your own. But I do want to stress it's right inside your own environment, which provides you the ability to configure this as you need to for your agency. So a few things to note here as we kind of take the tour around the learner side. We have access, and the system administrator is currently logged on, but this could be any user, and this is single sign-on using the accounts and the logins that you already have built right inside the system. So that's already available for you. We have a search bar right inside the portal. But a couple of things that I really want to highlight here are some widgets that are available to you for delivering training. So you have like my content, and inside this, you have a ton of information. So you have all the courses that are kind of going on that you've registered for or have been assigned to you. You can see the required courses right there. And you can also bookmark things for later as you like right inside this particular portal. We also have some additional widgets, such as news, so you can promote whatever you want, whether that's a new course or something else, other piece of information that you want to get out to your learning community. And you also have training roles, so you can assign training or create a training role and then assign training directly to that role and have really consistent training based on what roles people are playing within your agencies. So up top for our menus here, we'll skip over and go to our course catalog. And inside this catalog, you have a lot of capabilities here. This is really all the training that's available for your end users, and you can support this and secure this however you want. But there's some neat things here around being able to rapidly filter your course content. You can tag things with different categories. You can also tag them with OPM competencies or other things that you might want to in the tags. So you can start to base your courses and tag them with competencies that you want people to be able to learn. And of course, you can search for things, and let's just find one here really quickly, and I'll go into this. And so right from the catalog, you're able to go into our course player here. And one of the new things that we've got here is our player content has always been really easy to get to, but you can even make it more immersive and be able to bring all the extraneous noise away and be able to really just focus on your content here in 3.4. But inside of our course here, we've got lessons such as this welcome, we've got content, and underneath that, we have lots of different individual content snippets that we have available for you. These content objects can be a lot of different things. It could be like videos like you're seeing here, but it could be PowerPoints or knowledge base articles, all kinds of things that are out there. But you can make courses very, very robust and then be able to deliver these right from this player on any device. So back to our menus here. In addition to the course catalog, we also have a new way to discover training. And this is our Discovery Center, and it allows you to recommend courses in kind of a Netflix-like experience. So you have things like newest courses are popular, but it also can start to get smarter. So it'll start to recommend things based on like categories or tags or the competencies that are out there, things that your team is learning and so on. But it's based on some intelligence that we built right inside the platform to be able to recommend things. And it just gets smarter and smarter the more people take training. And then of course, what's a good learning portal without a transcript? So we have the ability to record things like your certifications that are out there and have information there about your courses. We have certainly transcripts that are certificates of completion that can be branded however you want, but you can get to those in one click really, really easily. And then you can also add your own certifications if you want to have external certifications recorded within your transcript. So you actually have like one transcript of record. And then you can, of course, download the whole thing if you want to, from a learner perspective, to a PDF, and you can take that to other agencies or other jobs that you might be transferring to. So in addition to being a really robust learner portal, we also have some other features here that are role-based. So you can have roles that you can grant for things like a manager, for instance, and the manager then can see exactly what's going on. And your managers are going to be kind of that secret sauce to be able to enable your training, your learning and development programs, because they're going to have the closest relationship with their employees. So the managers then can see like what team members they have, what progress they've made, anything that's overdue, see what certifications are coming up. They can even create assignments for their teams as well. So there's a lot of power here that you can delegate out as you need to or not. Granting those roles is really a choice up to each and every agency. We also have an instructor role. And this role will be somebody who's going to manage instructor-led events or virtual instructor-led events. They can manage, some of their events. They can take attendance. They can create new events as they need to, and then really have the ability to manage those. And then, taking attendance on your phone is super easy for them to have a record of who attended those courses as well. When I talked about being able to delegate course creation to anybody in an organization. This is completely up to you guys as far as like how you want to delegate course authoring, but you can now bring course authoring and course management right inside the learner portal that people already know. So you can do courses and create those, create learning plans, create quizzes as they need to right inside this learner portal. And I'll show you a little bit more in depth about what that'll look like when we get to the administrative side. So that is a very, very brief and quick overview of everything that goes on within your learner portal. And that's only part of it. This learner portal is really defined like, it's really kind of made to be something that's targeted to an individual. But if you go to the administrative side, now you're getting some visibility into everything that's going on in your learning and development program within your entire agency. So let's go into a couple of things and we'll just kind of orient ourselves here. This is, again, still ServiceNow. It's ServiceNow's backend. This is our administrative dashboard. And within this, you have a lot of different material. So you have the ability to see kind of what's going on with registrations, courses, overdue, completions, whatnot, reviews. Just there's a lot of material here. I want to also stress this is something that can be tailored to your organization. So you can move reports off this page. You can pull new reports into this page. You can use our existing reports to create brand new dashboards if you have other information that you want to do. And of course, being on ServiceNow, everything is click through. So you get instant one-click visibility into everything that's going on within your learning program. So this is our administrative dashboard. But we also have a compliance dashboard. And this is really, really important to many public agencies. What we see is as people want to track their compliance and regulatory coursework, it's really important to be able to do that effectively and really easily. If you remember what I showed you on the learner portal, some of those tags, whether it's a competency tag or just a course category tag, you can tag those courses as compliance. They're automatically going to show up here on this dashboard. So what that means is like anytime something happens and those people register for it or something is assigned to people, you can see these compliance courses that are already in progress. And eventually it's like, hey, something's got completed, but I've got a bunch of things that aren't completed. I click on it one time and I see exactly who has or in this case, who hasn't completed these. And then I have the ability to go take action and being able to follow up with people as I need to, outside of the usual notifications that are, of course, going on in the background. Really, really powerful stuff to be able to do to get visibility into your compliance just in a couple of clicks. So that's some of the dashboarding that we have, but let's orient us in some of the other capabilities here. So we have kind of broken this up into 4 different areas. Like you'll see content, and that's where you do things like create your courses, create your instructor-led events, learning plans, micro content, quizzes, surveys, things like that. You have activities, and this is really kind of like what's going on in your organization, what's happening within your environment. So you'll start to see things like achievements, assignments, certifications. There's some other functionality around, creating news and, registrations. Just basically anything that's going on in your organization is going to show up there. And then we have a whole bunch of reports. There's about 40 so out of the box that I'll show at least a few of those here later. And then you have setup. So this is kind of like do it one time. Like we have a guided setup that walks you through the process to make sure you can get up and going really quickly and take care of everything. Setting up your categories and tagging and things like that. Those are things you kind of do one time and then set it and forget it. So let's go back up into our content, and we're going to look at our courses. And this is something you would have seen kind of in your learner portal. This is your course library. And this is really everything that's going to show up here within that portal. So let me go into just search for one of them, and I'll show up PlatCore admin training, which we just saw. And this is our course builder. And we've really wanted to simplify this for your L&D teams and LMS administrators. So inside the course process, you just have like kind of a three-step thing where you go to details and properties and curriculum. So inside the details, you see like your course name, title, images, what it is, e-learning or ILT. And that's really all you need to do there. And then you can select lots of different properties, such as, hey, I want to categorize this thing like that compliance. Tagging it like that will show it up on that compliance dashboard. That's all you got to do. But you can assign things to have certifications associated with them, a lot of different capabilities about how the system is going to work. And then we have a whole bunch of advanced properties that will cover things like prerequisites and security courses, version control, and the like. Let's move over to curriculum. And this is kind of where that rubber hits the road. And inside of our course, we have lessons, and then we have content objects. And this is exactly that structure you would have seen on the learner side. So, we have lessons and videos. Maybe you have some PDF content. You can make these things as sophisticated or as simple as you like, but there's a lot of flexibility in here. So some of the types of content that we support are going to be activity types, attachments like PDFs or Word documents, PowerPoints and the like, checklists, KB articles, links to other things such as maybe even a SharePoint site internally, or it could be a Wikipedia article. Anything is really fair game at this point. And you also have videos, so it could be like YouTube or Vimeo, MP4, streaming, lots of different types there. We have quizzes, and then you can also have like SCORM, ASCC, or SAPI support as well, all within this course builder. So there's a lot of capabilities to manage how you want to build your courses and then offer those to your communities. And there's certainly lots of other things in that content area that we can talk about here. And happy to later, but let's look at just a couple of things also in activities. So here you see things like, achievements or assignments and certifications. That's kind of the crux of it. Like achievements will give you list views into every single data element that you have right in your own environment. And then you can report on that, do whatever you need to do. But a couple of the keys that I want to hit are going to be around certifications and then assignments. So let's talk certifications. These are completely definable by you. So you can decide like what certifications you want to manage. This is CPR certification, and it expires like every 2 years. But what's cool about some of this is now you can start to see, who's got what certification when they're coming up for expiration. And then you can also auto renew these things and maybe even assign Delta training based on the certifications. And you're able to really keep tabs on everybody's certification. You can see like maybe which type of certification you need to do a specific activity. And then even, things like making sure you can assign people to specific jobs based on what they're certified in. The next keys that I want to really hit are going to be around assignments. And this is something that we're actually world-class at. And our assignments coupled with the ServiceNow platform allow you to act on like any data within that platform. And it really helps you do some really neat things. So we have 3 different assignment types. One is kind of like your one-off assignment where you select some courses and stuff like that, and then select it to a bunch of different users within your community. But we also do recurring assignments, and this could be something that happens automatically, maybe once a year. Every January, you have maybe some type of harassment training you have to do, something like that. You can assign that and just kind of set it and forget it just one time. Dynamic assignments allow you to select courses, learning plans, and select that out to people, but you have access to a lot of different materials. So you can have dynamic assignments, kick off based on like maybe what building or country you're in, maybe what cost center you're in. So things like maybe an IT is going to be different from somebody who might be in operations or something like that. So you have a lot of flexibility within that dynamic assignment to set it up one time and let it just run. And then I talked a little bit about reporting. Reporting and visibility is super important, but all of these reports, data that I'm showing to you, it's all real time, all available right inside your own system. So we don't hide or make any of the data unavailable to you. It is your data, so we want you to be able to report on it. So you can have all of this and be able to change your data or change the type of report that's out there, configure it and group it as any way you want to, and then even be able to share reports throughout your environment. So a lot of capabilities there that are really exciting within that report. And I already talked a little bit about the setup. So we've really covered a lot of material in 15 minutes, but I have not even come close to scratching the surface of what's possible that's out there. So, if you want to go deeper, certainly reach out to us. We're happy to go deeper there for sure. So with that, let me just talk a little bit about some of the stories here in the last few minutes, and then we'll dive into some of the questions. So we've got a few stories here, and this is really an impactful one. So with our cost savings in the millions, we had a global company that significantly expanded its reach, and this was during the global pandemic. And it was a huge relief for this particular customer and the impact on the business. We allowed them, frankly, to continue business during the pandemic as they were doing a lot of IoT and one-to-one training and moving to an e-learning platform that could be rolled out very quickly. Really helped them move their business forward when it was difficult for everybody. But this customer just really clearly showed the benefits that every business is going to be seeing moving to a native training platform, including everything your customers needed was now in one location, and all the data and the training was accessible to their services and support and sales teams. And it really just made a huge impact by facilitating access to training in such a way that it was just consolidated for everybody. And so next, let's just look at some of the other things that customers have been doing. This is like a medical device company. They took a really innovative approach to customer service and just found huge value in streamlining their customer experience with training focused on PlatCore, providing that consistent, measurable, and self-service education training path that was easily customizable and certainly scalable. And as one of our earlier customers, this public transportation agency recognized the Now platform's extensibility. And there are just 4 key ways that they really increase their training efficiency for that incredible and nearly immediate and estimated roughly 400% ROI in year 1. They consolidated 3 training catalogs into one unified central learning catalog. And they had, of course, no-show reporting as well, and that helped streamline cost management. They could proactively manage registrations and fees that were already paid to make sure they were getting the value that they had already paid for. And they also used workflows to help orchestrate multiple approval levels, in this case 4, as well as the final purchase of training, which really streamlined their training financial management. It's really exciting to see them go through that process. And then, of course, they were able to validate and ensure training compliance across their entire organization. So, we've got some great stories, and we've got a bunch more to tell, and you'll see more coming out in the coming weeks as well. So, but no matter where you are in your LMS journey, we've created, and often with the support of our customers, just a ton of resources that are valuable and hopefully helpful to you. We've created a bunch of case studies, and the most recent of which shows some really innovative examples of employee workflows from Northern Virginia. There are also some LMS comparison docs for those of you who might be just evaluating LMS options. We'll even have a sample business case for making new changes to your learning programs and seeing where the ROI is going to be. We'd invite you to explore a lot of those resources that the team is hard at work for at platcore.com. So with that, we've come to the end of our formal presentation. I'd like everybody to thank everybody for joining us today. We saved some time for questions, so I'm going to give everyone just a moment to put those in the Q&A. And while we're giving you a minute to enter those questions, Rebecca, would you mind sharing those links if possible, just in the slides above, and people can go to the chat and have immediate access to the downloads. And we certainly hope that those have helped help people here. But hopefully that gives everybody a time just to put a few questions in. So Rebecca, has anything been submitted?
Yes, and by the way, thank you, John. Wow, that was incredibly informative and helpful, all the information that you shared. Yes, it looks like we do have a question that came up. One attendee would like to know, with the 3 stories, what is the employee population of each?
So for
your testimonial stories at the end.
Yeah, so the first story, and I'm going back and trying to get these in the right order for you. The internal employee population on the first one was only about 200 people. However, the external population and providing the solution to others was around 10,000. So that was, a story where a lot of external people were bringing in training and learning that in their own environments. That was also, by the way, that was an international story as well, and had multiple languages associated with that. The next one we had, that was approximately, I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head, about 6,000. So it was fairly, fairly robust there. And then the last one we have is also about 6,000, and they use that for, they've narrowed their population down to about 2,000 of those. So you don't have to give it to the entire population if you want. You can just kind of decide to pick and choose how much of that you want to roll out.
Wow, incredible, great. We do have another question. Dawn would like to know, is ServiceNow and this application IL4 approved?
Yeah, so ServiceNow recently went through their IL4. And we were able to operate in that environment as well, and we inherit the same type of security. So it basically rolls right into the IL4 data centers.
Okay, wonderful. We have another one. Let's see. Is there a multi-tenancy, so various offices within an organization can run their own training while also having enterprise-wide training?
For sure. Yeah, this is something that's really, really exciting. So you can actually do that a couple different ways. You can secure your courses based on the different agencies that you might want. So you can have like some courses only go to some portion of the agency while maintaining your enterprise-wide wide environment. We actually have one agency. We are on their headquartered instance, but they provide training only to subsets of that in various agencies, and you can you really restrict that, and it's very flexible to be able to do that. So you can decide how exactly you want to do that. And there's multiple ways to do that, but we've definitely done that with multiple agencies before.
That's great. We have a question from Brittany. Can you host and play HTML5 content like from Adobe Captivate?
Yeah, we support HTML5, or more often you'll see that like done as a SCORM file like that, but SCORM with HTML5, and then we can play that. And that could be like Adobe Captivate or Storyline or some of the other vendors that are out there. Or we also have partners we work with that can provide SCORM content. If you even need to create your own libraries as well, you can do that by buying off the shelf content as well, which is often SCORM 1.2 or 2004.
Great. You're welcome, Brittany. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. Is PlatCore, yes we do, is PlatCore FedRAMP certified?
Yeah, so what we do with FedRAMP is we're able to pull that and inherit those authorizations to work in the FedRAMP environment through our partnership with ServiceNow. So ServiceNow goes through the process of certifying us for scalability, reliability, and performance, and digs into our code. And then with that, they offer us the ability to operate within their FedRAMP environments, or DoD IL4 environments, as well as was mentioned earlier.
All right. Looks like we have a few more questions, narrowing it down. Do you allow course authoring or SCORM?
Yeah, so our course authoring is through our course builder.
What is SCORM? If you could elaborate just a bit.
Sure. So SCORM is a learning standard, which has been around for a very long time. Lots of agencies, lots of people have built content from frankly the 2000s. It's been around for about 20 years, and SCORM will allow you to be able to pull that content and be delivered through a standard SCORM player, which is built into the PlatCore platform. So to answer the question specifically, our course authoring tool is based on being able to pull things like videos together and PowerPoints and things like that. SCORM authoring tools would be something like the Adobe Captivate that would be out there. And then you build the course in that SCORM authoring tool and then be able to play it with the PlatCore platform, as well as then being able to record completions, record test scores and things like that.
Great. Thank you, John. We do have another question that just popped in. All right. Does PlatCore offer virtual instructor-led training, asynchronous and synchronous? If so, what is the maximum size class you have?
Right. So we offer the ability to do what we call instructor-led training or virtual instructor-led. For us, that just means the course is offered at a specific date and time. And we offer online abilities to integrate with like Teams or Zoom or anything like that. And that kind of depends on the number of participants there. Really just depends a little bit on that particular platform. We don't limit it. So if you wanted to do something with 10 people, or you could limit it to 50 or 500, that's really kind of up to you as far as what you want to do there, but we don't limit that. But we do offer that. And I should also say, when you do the virtual instructor-led events and have those links that are associated with those platforms, we're sending out calendar invites and things like that to make sure it gets on people's calendars appropriately, and they can accept those as well. But it's a very robust capability that we have to do ILT or VILT.
Very good. We have one more question I see that popped in. Let's see. What parts of the LMS can be customized? The learning management software, which parts can be customized?
So we are a very open platform. And what that means is once you get it down in your own environment, we can help make you, we can kind of guide the process, but we don't limit anything. So if you wanted to customize the portal, you certainly could, all the colors, configurations, things like that. You can bring additional widgets into our portal, take widgets in and out. But you can also do things like, create new workflows around your business processes. So you can, add new data tables and data fields that can be associated. So we don't limit really 95% of the platform. We're very, very open, and we want this to be your solution, not just today, but hopefully in years to come as your business and organizations and agencies change, which of course they will. You need the ability to have your LMS change with you, so it's not becoming a dinosaur, and it can grow and evolve with you.
All right, I'm not seeing any others come up. So if we don't have any more questions for the day, we'll go ahead and wrap this session up. If we didn't get to your question, or you do happen to think of one later, we will follow up in an email after the session with the recording and all the contact information with this demo will be followed up in an email to everyone who participated today. So thank you very much, John, for being with us this afternoon. I want to thank all of our participants as well for joining us today. We hope this webinar has been helpful for you and your organization. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day.